the year we started, day one, that's when we that's when we really met each other. So it's been really wonderful to see her grow and, you know, and change her business into adding more rainy day solutions to her plate. So her must achieve goal is to be consistent and keep up or continue with her marketing and branding. She feels like that's definitely what is going to push her in the fourth quarter to be successful and to continue her growth. Her second goal for the business is to continue with her customer relationships, which that means, you know, her previous customers, just following up with them and maintaining the relationship so they can potentially refer her or perhaps use her again, and all the good stuff that comes with repeat business, which we all love. And her personal goal is to, you know, get healthier and lose some weight and just feel better about herself.
Yeah.
Right. Good stuff, Angela. Thank you for sharing that. And LaToya, you can tell us about Vargas. I know there's some commonalities there.
Yes. So like Angela said, we've known each other for about 5 years now. We were the first person that we met. So it's good that we're both still in business. That's good. So some of the things that she wants to work on, hold on, come here. Okay, he's just not gonna let me be great. So I'm gonna have to pick him up. So she wants to work on systemizing. They have the systems in place. It's just a matter of implementing them and having the right person, the right staff member in place to carry out the systems and do the follow-up and reach out and return the phone calls and the emails and the text and all that good stuff. Her personal goal is just to have a healthy mindset, you know, by continuously learning, exercising, spending time with her family, and just, you know, having a good overall well-being, you know, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally.
Excellent.
So those are Angela's must-have goals.
All right. Good job, Angela. Good job, LaToya. Thanks for telling us that. And good job adding in, Noah. Yeah, he's ready to tell a story. All right, which would you'll go to, I guess, Caroline and Kathy for next in the groups. So I don't know which you want to go first.
I'll go first. Caroline's must-have for the next quarter is to implement processes with their receptionist. She has devised an intake sheet that she's put on Google Drive so that she and Joycelyn and the receptionist all have access to it. It is live, and it is a follow-up page for the receptionist to make follow-up phone calls to folks, which allows Caroline and Joycelyn to focus on the tasks that really generate a lot of money for them and focus for them. It also allows them to see what's in the pipeline, what's coming down the pipeline, allows them to see, I think, too, whether their marketing is working. And it also provides a buffer for Caroline and Joycelyn with their clients so that when they call to make a follow-up, they don't get caught on the phone for half an hour answering unrelated questions or getting involved in conversations that are real time suckers. So I applaud her for that. I think it's awesome. And I think in the next quarter, she's going to see huge results with that implementation.
Outstanding. Thanks, Kathy. Yeah, that's good stuff, Caroline. Tell us what you got going with Kathy.
So Kathy is in a similar position. She is really focused on process development so that she can increase the value of her business, increase the effectiveness of her time, and decrease the amount of time that she spends on activities that are not in her wheelhouse. Her wheelhouse is making money, being a great attorney. Her wheelhouse is not over here messing with financial information. So she's already outsourced some of that work, and she's just going to continue to identify and create processes based on what is the highest pain point for her, what is going to give her the biggest bang for her buck if she does outsource it. And she does recognize she needs to drill down on the specific processes that she wants to do. She definitely wants to do a really good system for intake of her probate cases with a will and probate with as a muniment of title. Those are two specific processes that she knows when the receptionist answers. And when she sends out intake forms, she definitely wants to focus on those two practice areas, and she's identified those as processes.
Excellent. Thanks, Caroline. You're all taking good notes on this, I hope. There'll be a test at the end.
Oh no.
All right, let's move on to Cheyenne and Steve.
All right, so hi. So Steve is a business owner of a contract business, and we share a lot of similar goals as far as trying to achieve great team members coming on for the success of the business. And the difference between us, you know, what Stephen mentioned was really important. He did state that, you know, versus seeing things on paper, you know, we hire people, you know, off of the experience that they tell us that they have, you know, maybe call a couple of references and stuff to see if they can give them a good, you know, yeah, they were great. But Stephen needs to see the work, you know, he has to see it up front to make sure that it's actually good enough for the business, which makes sense. You know, that kind of made me think of, you know, maybe I should start some kind of pre-employment training for a day or so, you know, put somebody out there before we actually bring them on to see what their skills are, you know, if they can actually perform as much as they stated on their documents. So I thought that was great, you know, and of course in different businesses, you will have to kind of, like you said, you got to see the work. They're contractors. So I got to know that you're able to get the job done before we just offer you something. You know, and how do you obtain dedicated workers, you know, providing them with great resources, paying them well, making sure that they have adequate training. You know, that checklist is really good to make sure that everybody's kind of doing repetitive things to success of the business. And it means a lot to him, you know, because it's his business, you know, the integrity of the business is at stake if, you know, you have contractors come on who's not fulfilling the patient, I mean, not the patient, you know, client's needs. So, you know, he's focusing on, you know, tracking things and prioritizing, you know, for the business. Showing integrity is really good, is a big thing for him, especially being a business owner, you know, owning the whole company. I can only imagine, you know, you want to make sure the integrity of the company is always up to par, because that's what people look for. You know, they want to be able to trust that they can use you for the services that they need. So that was just, and that's something similar that we share, you know, just making sure that we have the dedicated people there, especially after, you know, he mentioned with COVID as well, too, you know, with certain jobs, you know, a lot of businesses weren't booming at a point. So, you know, it's a high turnover. So when things are kind of back into play, it's like, how do you, you know, pick up from there? You know, who can you trust to be able to come on to the business? Not people just looking for a job, but someone who's actually going to put the work in. So
that's excellent. I can add on the Stephen Reed SOS story that his partner in crime is his wife, Deandra, and the two of them have done similar things like what you and Rick have done, Angela, or teaming up a bit and getting things going in a team. And so part of that whole business of where he's going, you know, into this next quarter is pretty darn exciting of where they are and all the excitement that's going on. So thanks for sharing that with us about Steve. SOS, Home Solutions.
Sure.
Give it up on Ivy League, Steve.
Yeah, so Ivy League. So I think a thing you can have, Cheyenne, is like a probation period, right? So I know a lot of companies have probation period, 90 days or 30 days. Let's see how you work before we actually hire you on full time, right? So that could be a good thing for y'all to implement into your business. But so Cheyenne is a manager of the urgent care, right? So I know that has to entail a lot of different things, right? She has to hire people and retain good people, right? So it's one thing to hire people, but how do you get good employees and benefits to make them want to stay, and how do you retain them, right? So it's two different things. She's looking for dedicated team members, right? So somebody that doesn't just want a job, they want like a career, they want a lifestyle, and they want to be a part of the team, right? So she's straight up with them in terms of, like, if you're just looking for a job, then maybe this is not the place for you, but if you want to build with us and be part of the team, then we're the place to come. She's learning a lot about interviewing, right? She's interviewed a lot of different people, and sometimes she feels that maybe she's going through too many interviews, that maybe she's lost somebody that maybe she should have had at the beginning, right? So she's trying to hone in on her interviewing skills and how she can sharpen her interviewing skills and be able to identify key employees when they come in. She likes to review procedures and stuff, and how this is the culture of Ivy League, and you have to fit into our culture, right? So you have to be like I say, a part of the team. How these is our culture. Our same thing you have, coach. Your culture and your other things you harp in terms of procedures and stuff. She has she's something holding her back is questionable candidates, right? So she feels like she interviews them so much that she doesn't want to get any questionable characters. And I think that's where the 90-day probation period would be good. Like, hey, you need to be on your best behavior. You need to work with us, and we need to see your work, not just on paper, but can you do the work that we're asking you to do? Are you a team player? Are you on time? Do you leave early? There's things that you can look for to identify good players. And then once you find them, then you hire them on full time, right? And she just wants to be able to provide good customer service and have a good work-home balance, right? She works a lot and stuff, and she's trying to have a good work-home balance, right? So this is Ivy League, and what I got from Cheyenne as the manager there. So
yeah, excellent. Thanks, Steve, and that was great. I see your partner in crime behind you there. Hi, Dion.
yep. Yeah, he's saying hi to you.
PD.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, well, let's go to the last group.
Too late.
Sheeta and John. Which do you want to go first there?
Okay. All right. All right. Go ahead, John.
All right. So, I applaud Sheedy here for, you made a big move, man, from Nigeria to here and starting a new adventure. Man, I'm scared, and I've lived here my whole life starting, so, I applaud you on it. But what I've learned about him is his must-achieve goal is he wants to raise $100,000 in revenue by the end of the year. So he by doing, to make that happen, he's going to need to increase his network, get to know more people, which then helps drive sales and ultimately attack his goal. What else we got here? So he's going to have to increase it. So he's got a couple other businesses that he already has established in Nigeria that he said he can hopefully start getting some more sales out of to help drive this new goal of his. Based on our short conversation, that's basically what I got on his must achieve goal.
All right. Thanks, John. Good work.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, John. So from our conversation, John basically wants to get a new plumber. It comes a time in business where you want to expand. You want to get new team members in your team. Because you want to be able to attend to more customers. You also want to free up more time so he can get more business and not just getting a plumber like someone said in the group, but getting a plumber that is ready to add value, because the plumbers are going to be going to homes, so he needs to also make sure they have insurance as well. So he wants to ensure that he got a health insurance for them, and he was able to he wants to make sure he gets all the right papers. And at the end of the day, recruiting this new plumber will help create more time for him to push the business further, creates more time for him to serve multiple clients at the same time. At the end of the day, increase revenue for the business, and also put in some systems and structures to ensure that everybody in the organization benefits from that growth. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. One of the things that John brought to two growth clubs ago was the whole discussion of the W-2 1099, from the construction side, and what to do and which way to go. And I've had many discussions since then about that. I like the loyalty factor for the price point. And I know John certainly is happy with the way his employees are dedicated to him in the nature of the job. So that's great stuff. Well, that was fantastic. I enjoyed that a lot. It was good to hear everybody's kind of experience and being able to describe it in your own words, and then being able to, so to say, regurgitate that. It's good for everybody to hear what you heard. And certainly you may have come away with a few, wait a minute, I might have to clarify a little bit of what that means. And looking at everybody's report, everybody's Growth Club guide, there was oftentimes details that were missing. You'd see, well, yeah, I'm going to hire somebody, and then I'm going to get, an ad in the paper, but then I got to train them. Then I got to, and a few other things you could start thinking about, what else happens because I did that? How do we introduce them to the staff? And the more you can systemize all the little pieces that you put together and keep it consistent, the better it will be, because you can improve on something that you can measure. And if you aren't having the ability to do that, it's not going to work so good. So good work on that, everyone. Appreciate you going through that and sharing that with them. I think it's a lot of fun to hear all of the different companies. Let me share this side. No, that was our. So the next step, and a bit of a challenge for some of you, I guess, but maybe you've done it already. But I highly, highly, highly recommend doing this. When I did it, this is mine, for my must achieve and my business goal too. So all I did is printed this sheet off. You'll notice that the workbook I gave to you is very print friendly. You can print one page off at a time. I just printed this one page off and went down the list. Did all my personals, and I made sure they're in my calendar. So when you have things that repeat 3 hours across, well, in the chamber, that was a challenge, because what I had to do is look up both the chambers I'm a member of, look at all the events they have planned for the next 3 months. And I went through and picked the ones I wanted and put them in my calendar already. They don't have a lot for December, so I know I'll have to refresh that later. But basically, I'm scheduling 3 hours a week that I'm going to commit to chamber. And I made sure it's in my calendar. Same with my Rotary stuff. I'm on the board. That's part of my abundance strategy right now with working with Rotary. Increased challenges for growth in all engagements. That's really not a calendar item as much as an asterisk for item number 1 on my second goal. Right, the quality business coaching conversation. That's really an asterisk for part of every one of those sessions. Make 2 quality business connections per week. Well, I had an hour. And of course, when I'm traveling, I said, I'm going to run into a lot of people and I can't help but talk to them. So I'm going to get 4 connections there. When I'm traveling to Paraguay, but I put an hour in there, which is, going to happen for me easily. I'm not dedicating an hour in my calendar necessarily to it, but I put a line item in there just for a little thing so that I remember to check it off as something to test and measure against, and how many new, 2 new quality leads or quality connections, conversations I can have about my business. So that's the strategy and the thinking of moving it to your calendar. And I highly encourage you to do that. And what it did for me is I had more hours allocated to some other things here. And I realized when I went to my calendar, I don't really need that much time to do that. It was the, I don't see it here. I guess maybe, yeah, the blogs per week. I had put in 2 hours for all of those. And the blogs per week, I had line item 4 there. And when I got into my calendar, I went, I don't need to spend that much time doing that. I can do that in an hour. So I reduced it. And it's kind of just tracking, testing, measuring, refining. Any questions about that? Everybody okay with that? Kind of get the idea and the philosophy, the approach. It's pretty straightforward, not hard. It's just a little discipline. So just a quick word about knowing our numbers. Got to have a pro forma, folks. Got to know what it looks like 12 months in front of us, minimum. Because you fill the vacuum. What I mean by that is that when you set your goals with certain numbers or whatever else you're doing in this pro forma, our top line revenues, you're going to find ways to achieve those a lot easier if you've already designed it. So building that pro forma, as Angela is getting really good at.
Can I add something there, Coach, that I think, I don't know if it's going to help other people, but I know it certainly affects myself and probably Caroline too. As an attorney, we have to renew our license each year. We have to have malpractice insurance. In addition to business insurance, we have to get CLE credits on a periodic basis. And for me, having that, you drilling into me, I've got to have that pro forma. I've got to know my numbers. That helps me know ahead of time, oh, in October, I've got my Adobe Acrobat renewal for the year. That's $200. Or I have my malpractice insurance at $1,500. It's coming due in May. Or I've got this bar association membership coming due, license due in March. So that really helps me not overspend in the month or two leading up to it. So I know I've got cash available in my operating account to meet that expense, and I don't have to dip into my profit account or my tax hold account to pay those expenses.
Excellent, excellent. You know, and Kathy's really done a great job with the profit first model as well. You know, and he's not with us today, but he's wrapped up doing this. But Tommy Stewart certainly put some of that in place in his world to eliminate any credit card debt, which is higher debt. And so we, you know, rather than the profit going to one type of cash where we want to reinvest and so on. But if you're not, you know, if you have debt up there that's high interest, forget about it, man. Let's get rid of that first. And so, you know, he was able to do that and eliminate his debt, which was fantastic, just by watching his numbers and paying attention. And it really does give you the ability to predict. You know, Steven's challenges as he goes more into the, you know, at SOS, as he's moving more into the commercial side, is the cash gap projections of what can happen when you, you know, when you have a 90 days before you get paid and you got to pay your laborers and everything else. It's very important stuff. Some of the line items in the pro forma, here's just an example. I call the projected revenue, Angela and I were talking about it being the ego line. You know, it's kind of like, yeah, it's great to have that number real high, but this one down here, it's your profit line. That's what you pay. That's what you put food on the table with. And so a lot of times people get caught up in saying, look at all this money we've made. Look at all this money we made. When they get down to the bottom line and look at all this money we spent, and they don't have much for the profit line. So managing your pro forma month over month and putting in your actuals, making sure you're tracking fixed versus variable is critical. And you can see in this, previous slide. In the bottom here, you can see that we've got a profit first allocation model built into this. Anybody on here doesn't have an updated pro forma like this, I've got a template built for you. Just let me know and I'll make sure you get it. Kind of build it out as again as a template for 12 months in front of us now. Any questions about that? Everybody's kind of on board, heard it before, just got to get the discipline to do it a little better maybe. I think that's probably true for all of us. So kind of a wrap up. We're ripping right through this. So I have a self-discipline Menti exercise. And I thought maybe we could stop sharing that screen. You might have to put a different code in. Bear with me for a second here. Don't let me forget. Wrong one. How many times are you going to do the wrong one? Ooh, I got it. All right. Come on, Greg, you're fooling yourself. All right, you guys. Any result, clear that one. I can present finally. Sorry, guys, it took me forever. Not my usual style. So you can see 2 to 3 self-disciplines you will follow through Q3. All we want to do is type a few of these in. Back to Menti, but like I said, at Menti this time, you're going to have to change the code, I believe. And it's 428 537 10. 428 537 10. I'm putting mine in. Oh. Everybody see that all right? Kind of fun. Meditation. I don't know if people take that on. Sometimes I use that. Force myself to be quiet and silent for a while. There you go. Weekly billing. I like that one. That'll get your revenues up. Extra 2 billings per year, I think, if you do it by week. A lot of the action coach programs are all going to weekly billing these days, trying to build their membership and everything. Using a schedule, values, track my time. Amazing. What you measure gets better. And whatever we measure gets better. Belief, yeah. Daily exercise like that. All right. Well, good. I don't know if everybody else got in and see some more. You know, my affirmation sequence, I'll just share with you, is that I look at my calendar when I start my day, and I go down that calendar and I recognize all of the appointments, whatever I'm coaching, whatever I'm doing, and I actually talk about each one of them out loud of what I'm going to do, what I'm going to be prepared for. I'm going to be mentally set for each one of them. And it really helps me get a focus daily. And then, of course, I have my other list of 20 affirmations here that I can read out, you know, and I do read those. I pick, you know, maybe 5 of them at a time, and you actually do them. Get your reticular activating system in your brain set to accept the goals much better. All right. Good work on that. Somebody else just pulling in. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave you hanging. And then I'll pop back here. As far as a closing Wifle, I guess maybe we could quickly do an around the house with a Wifle and let everybody say their own Wifle. What I feel like expressing about whatever it is you want to express relative to the what we've had for a session today and so on. And we'll just do that, and we'll make them. We've got to let Cheyenne know that we do quick Wiffles. We'll call that a quiffle. I hope she doesn't mind. I don't see her on the screen right now. I don't have everybody.
I'm here. I heard.
All right, I didn't see you, so I wanted to make sure you were smiling. I was picking on you a little there. All right, so who would like to go first here? Cheyenne, let's let you go first and set the stage. Give us a Wiffle. You know Wiffle.
Okay, well, I feel like expressing. Okay, let me hurry up. See, that's what Coach was talking about. I feel like expressing that this was a very helpful workshop for me to join. I definitely learned a lot of things that is very encouraging for me to utilize from other business owners and managers, and I definitely gonna take all this in and apply it to my everyday life.
All right, and that's what you feel like expressing?
Yeah, that's what I feel like expressing.
Now you can pass it on to anybody else you want, other than
All
me.
right, I'm gonna pass it to my partner, Steven.
Thank you. So yeah, Wiffle, I'm my business partner here.
Hello, everyone.
So Wiffle, we want to kind of say is just like, you know, I think being around like-minded individuals, right? So it's just being around other business owners and other, you know, seeing some of the things that they go through, and, you know, not just having to learn all the mistakes somehow, like I learn it from other people, right? So I think it's good to be able to, you know, to gather the knowledge and stuff that people go through and implement that into our business, right? So I think just the camaraderie of being in a group, I think it's great.
Thanks, Steven. And that's what you feel like expressing?
Yeah, it's good.
Who are you going to pass it to?
Pass it to, let's go with John.
All right, what Wiffle, yeah. So what I feel like expressing is this was a good meeting. It was cool. I liked it. Coach, you helped me a lot, changed my mindset on a lot of stuff. And it was nice to hear from, you know, everybody else. That's it.
All right. And who you can pass it to, John?
Who's left? I'll pass it to Chidi.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much. Firstly, I want to say I'm very happy to be here. I'm really, really grateful to meet every one of you, and also to have the opportunity to be invited to the meeting by Coach. And I think it's a challenge for everyone. We've all had each and everyone's goals, you know, a must achieve goal, and I look forward to the end of this quarter to be able to share the success stories as well. So I wish everybody best of luck.
Thanks, Jada. Can you pass it on?
Okay, I pass it on to Caroline.
Okay, thank you, Shady. What I feel like expressing today is that this process of doing this homework and actually using my calendar more, specifically for my must achieve and goal two for the business, and even for my personal goals. I think that I'm very optimistic that it's going to make a big difference. I actually feel more focused just since doing my homework starting on Friday. So obviously this works, and it's, I guess why am I surprised? I don't know. That's what I feel like expressing, and I will pass it to Kathy.
All right.
Thank you, Caroline. What I feel like expressing is gratitude. Gratitude for the 3 prior quarterly growth sessions that I've attended. Gratitude for the consistent support and cheering section that Coach gives me. Gratitude for like-minded business owners that I can discuss issues and topics and ideas with. Gratitude for learning the profit first allocation, because that has given me quite a bit more freedom than I would have otherwise had. And gratitude for the future and what I know can be achieved. And I will pass it on to LaToya.
All right.
Okay. Well, what I feel like expressing, as Kathy said, is just gratitude. Coach, I really thank you a lot, for always allowing me to be part of your growth clubs. They always help me no matter what. I always learn, I always grow. My business always moves forward. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm proud to be a veteran at this, and I look forward to many, many more. Thank you so much.
Thanks, LaToya. And I think you have one choice to pass.
I'll pass it to Angela.
Yay, me. Well, I am super excited about Q4. I'm super excited that I got to meet new people, some familiar faces, but just, that I've met new people. And I'm just thankful as well for the growth, for the process that it has been. I have been very hesitant at the beginning to listen to Coach, not because of him, but because of lack of confidence in what I was doing. And I didn't want to do it wrong. So I decided I didn't want to do it at all. But I had to take the risk because it's my business and it's for the legacy that we want to leave behind. So I went out there and I did it. So thank you, Coach, for pushing me to do something that I did not want to do.
Oh, that's great. Well, what I feel like expressing is I love doing these growth clubs. I enjoy it. I feel like we get a little bit tighter, a little bit better. Of course, I love to see bigger crowds, and I think we can handle bigger, but you know what? This intimate kind of group that we've had today has just been fantastic. I feel really good about the way things have been shared openly, and we have some things to do in this Q4 that are exciting. We've got somewhere to go. We've got something to get done, and it's going to be fun celebrating it as we go through the Q4 and make it happen. And so at this point, I'd like each of you to think about one word that you're going to theme on for your Q4 and kind of why you'd have one word that's kind of going to work. And I want to get everybody to share that in just a minute here. Now, part of what we did is we wrote a letter to ourselves, right? And you all understand what that was about. That's to get yourself in a position to see your successes. And they're there. And because once you filled that, again, the vacuum fills. You fill into reaching that, what you had as a vision. And so fill that up with all the good things, that you're going to have accomplished by this. And make sure you read that. I don't know, did anybody bother reading their one from last time? Yeah, I did on mine. In fact, I just kind of copied it over to my new one and readjusted a few things for the new quarter. But, yeah, it's interesting to see if you go back and read them. All right, one word theme. Why? Just a single word. Can you think of something? I want to make sure I have my notes ready here because I want to get every one of these written down.
Okay, I'll go first. Mine is productivity.
Got it.
Mine is do. D-O.
I love it. That's a that was Kathy, right? Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, that was me. Do.
Do. All right, who's next? Caroline?
I'll do one. Mine is yes. I just need to be positive. So yes is my word.
Just go yes. You don't want too many of those, what did you call them? Puppy dogs or?
That word is no, no stray puppies, but
Stray
yes
puppies, yeah.
to I can do this. Yes to
Yeah, reinforce.
yeah.
I love it. How
Go next. My word is support. It just kind of gives people confidence and helps grow individuals with support coming from anywhere and everyone.
support. I like it. I like it. Who else do we got?
Okay, I'll go. My word will be consistency.
Yeah.
I love that concept of consistency because every little action habit basically compounds as long as you're consistent. You know, one little item on the calendar can turn to a mountain in 90 days.
All right. I love it. Love it. John or Steve?
I'll go. Mine is growth. Looking for larger scale projects and be able to scale up to larger, more productive projects.
You're on that path. I like it. Growth Club and growth the theme, man. Guess what's going to happen in the first quarter, 2023? We're gonna have another growth club. You're gonna tell us about all the growth. Can't wait.
Right.
John, what do you got? What's going on with Champion?
I'm gonna go with trust. You know, trust the process.
There you go. There you go. You got a hiring process you're going to take on and, put in a process and how you're going to decide whether this guy's right. You're at that point. That's great. Well, thanks everyone. That was great. I mean, I love getting all those words. We got productive, do, yes, support, consistency, trust, and growth. Good words. And I'll make sure we keep recording of that. And so the last part of all this is to give out the 3 awards, first, second, and third place. And so what's been done, I calculated, kind of what came in early and looked over those things and put some kind of evaluation together on that. And then certainly you all did your peer evaluation. I'm done to that end. Then I watched how kind of things went today. And so I want to congratulate. I'm going to start at third place. Third place is a tie, believe it or not. When I did all the calculation between SOS Solutions and Champion Plumbing. So you guys will each get a check for $50.
Nice.
Have some fun with that. Good work. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Second place, who came from kind of out of left field into all of this and did a great job of putting together, especially her document and stuff for the Growth Club guide. And second place goes to Caroline. All right. Congratulations, Caroline.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, fun to win. And first place, who really came full bore at the end here with all kinds of great stuff and everything, goes to Angela Vargas. Agency. So they win first. So I'll make sure you get a little certificate and a check from the coach, from the desk of Coach Hess to you right away. And congratulations. I think doing this, I don't know, I felt like some of the quality was higher. I expected to attract a larger crowd based on it. I must be honest with you, but who cares? It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun doing it. I hope you feel okay. As I talked about in winning, everybody's a winner, right? And why is that? Well, we've pushed each other to a higher level. And I want to keep that vision happening, right? I mean, that to me is what competition's about. It's not about beating somebody. It's about we all rose to a higher level and we had some that went a little higher. So congratulations. Congratulations to the winners. It's just great. All right. And then I guess is kind of thank you for participation. You know, if you haven't done a Google review for me, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be nice, you know, and let's truly make this next quarter the best quarter ever. And I say that every quarter, but that's what we want to do. And let's end up here with a whoosh. Good golly, we're 12 minutes over. I'm sorry about that. That's not my style. I thought I was right on time. Well, let's whoosh this thing out of here. Good work, everybody. We had a few things we threw out, a few things we're going to do differently. We're going to say yes more often, right, Caroline? We're going to reach out there with that yes hand on the left out there. We're going to yes, yes, yes it. Make it happen, make it happen. Be positive. 1, 2, 3. Whoosh.
Woo!
Woo-hoo. Work, everybody.
Thanks, Coach.
Good
Thank
work.
you, Coach, so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Yes,
you,
thank you, everyone.
everyone.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
night.
Coach.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good night.
Everybody.
Good night. Thank you,
Night.
guys.
Have a nice evening.
You
Thank
too.
you,
Yeah,
everyone.
bye.
We'll talk soon. Bye.